The Volvo XC40, which is the baby in the Volvo SUV range. We've tested a couple of the models before. This one is, first of all, RDesign kit. And you'll see a lot of features that tell you it's RDesign. You can see the strip daytime running lights, the Thor's hammer as they call it, the black treatment and the cladding around the wheel arches, lovely big 20-inch mag wheels over here. They really are neat. We've done some dirt roading on this one, that's why it's full of dust, but that's part of it, isn't it? You come across over here, of course, you've got the contrasting black roof, which again is a feature of the RDesign kit on the car. And then if I open the back door over here, you're going to have a nice look at the space in the back, and that's not bad at all, is it? And RDesign interior, of course, gives you the leather and suede trim, very neat, with the contrasting white stitching over there, nicely done. Isofix on the two outer seats over there, and you can see in the center you have got, of course, USBs down at the bottom, which is nice, and you've also got aircon vents for the rear passengers, separate aircon vents. So those are neat touches that I feel you get with this car, and I think they are pretty nice and pretty useful. You come around, of course, to the rear C-pillar over here, and you can see the RDesign, very, very neat. The very distinctive rear tail lights sort of curving around and into the side over there, but very different, very distinctive. Nice big spoiler over the rear hatch over here as well. And when I do that, of course, you get that opening automatically, which is a nice feature as well, isn't it? Well, I certainly like it. There's an interesting foldable in sections board over here as well at the bottom, and you see here you get a separate section down at the bottom over here in the boot. So there's a nice little secure hidey hole. Obviously you can take out, you can adjust, you can do what you want, and there's a space saver spare wheel over there. Okay, we won't say too much about space savers, will we? You've also got a 12-volt socket in the boot area, which is very, very nice. Volvo give a figure of 479 litres of boot space in this format over here, which is massive in context. And of course you can drop the rear seats in two sections, 2/3, 1/3, so you've got all of those features over there that really are nice. What is crucial and to look at, of course, because the various models in the XC40 range, we're in the D4, and I mentioned RDesign, and do not forget all-wheel drive. Now in Volvo speak, of course, the majority of their vehicles are powered by a 2-litre, whether it's petrol or diesel engine. D4 means it puts out 140 kilowatts, 400 newton meters of torque. You do get D5 with more power, etc. But this is what we have here, and as I said, put down to all four wheels, and that's very important from a road holding, from a general point of view, and made a very, very big difference when we were on that little dirt road. Let's check it out inside. Always be a safety net on dirt roads. No, it's not a four-wheel drive, it's not for off-roading, but for a dirt road like we're on now, yeah, it's bumpy and everything else, and remembering that the RDesign version, of course, has the bigger wheel tire combination, so it's not the perfect one for these conditions either. But you've got 211 mils of ground clearance on the XC40, and that's what really helps a heck of a lot. It's just so smooth, it's easy, it's comfortable. I'm doing like 60 k's an hour. I'm certainly not pushing hard, but it handles it with absolute ease, comfort, and I'll use the word security. I think that's what makes it more important than anything. And this, to me, is what you're buying a crossover SUV for, to get this kind of safety net in all different conditions, doesn't matter what they are. Starting on the instrumentation, as we always do, the figures I want to show you are very simple over here and quite straightforward, and to tell you that we've averaged 8 litres per 100 kilometers on this test, over about 450 or so kilometers in total driving. So not bad, and a lot of town driving. It's probably among the worst figures a driver will get in this car. I think you can achieve far, far better if you really want to try. But just to give you an idea of what the car is capable of. You've got, of course, full multifunction steering wheel as you would expect on this car. And you've got paddles over there that operate the 8-speed automatic gearbox. 8-speed Volvo gearbox, nice, smooth use as always that you'd expect. Another feature, of course, of these cars, and especially when you go to RDesign, is the upgraded Harman Kardon sound system. A very important feature as well. Really quality, quality, and more quality. You come across to the center, and you've got the very typical Volvo tablet screen, shall we call it. Really nice, very easy. Press button, gives you navigation, set destination, press over here and you can go back to operate what you want, your phone. I'm sure you're used to all of it and I'm not really going to spend too much time on that. Over here, of course, you've got some of your controls, like your rear screen, but of course air conditioning is operated and your whole system our climate control system is actually operated on the tablet. This button over here is a little bit hidden away, but it is a very important button over there, because when I press it and you come back to the screen above, you'll see it gives you, of course, your selectable drive modes, and it includes an off-road, rough road one, which I should have actually used when we did the dirt road section. I didn't even use it there. But anyway, you've got your pistol grip, forward, backward gear shift over here for changing gears. Very, very simple, very straightforward. Interestingly, press the button to engage park. And there's your, of course, electronic parking brake, and if you want to switch off the stop-start system, which I find such a pain on most cars, and I'm going to say probably on this one too. Looking around at the fascia, of course, you've got the quality, as I mentioned over here. You've got this very interesting trim over here. I don't know quite how to describe it even, but it looks very good, looks very effective, and gives a classy sort of feel. You've got your panoramic sunroof over here on this model again, and it looks good, and I certainly love opening the roof to lighten up the car at very, very least. It's something that I tend to do a lot of the time with many of the cars you may have seen when we're testing it. Well, overall, what can I tell you on this car? So a question I'm going to raise, and probably the only thing I can find as a negative, besides, as I said, the fuel consumption I may have thought would be marginally better on this car, is that if you're going to go off-road, or even by off-road, I'm talking about dirt roads even, maybe go with Inscription spec and not RDesign. You'll lose a couple of little touches on the car, but you'll go slightly smaller wheels, for example, which will make a difference, and I think improve things quite nicely. And the second factor is that it won't be, with the smaller wheels, you'll find it'll probably handle slightly nicer and a little bit softer on a dirt road. But certainly if you're an urban warrior, RDesign looks good and will work around town driving very, very well. So you've got to decide for yourself where you're going to be driving. That's what counts. You look around, I've shown you the seats, I've shown you everything. There's lots of space in the XC40. It really is nice and comfortable, nice and spacious, easy to drive, all the features you would expect. Volvo do give you a 5-year, 100,000 kilometer service plan, maintenance plan, and warranty included, so you get those features. So what's it going to cost you? Well, RDesign standard spec, because you can, of course, tick a few boxes, comes in at 743,900 Rand. Again, compared to its opposition, very, very competitive, and we know the opposition. I'm not going to mention all of those, but you know there's lots available from Mercedes, from BMW, from Audi, from Lexus. Those all fall in the same category. But Volvo, of course, the safety, and I haven't mentioned, but of course you know you're going to get that full safety suite that you can expect from Volvo, which includes every possible safety mechanism, electronic, that you can possibly get, including what they call their City Safe, which gives you active braking, it gives you pedestrian warning, it gives you all of those features that are really top notch when it comes to safety. Overall, I do like the XC40. I like the Volvo XC range in general. It's very, very competitive with the other brands that I've just mentioned. as always, if you're in this category of car, you need to check out the opposition and check out which one suits you the best. But check this one out as well. For Motometers, I'm Eleanor, and I'll see you next time.